The 2023-2024 NBA season has come to a close, as we have the last two teams standing, the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks, who have made it to the NBA Finals and will fight for the NBA championship. Every NBA fan should be excited about the upcoming NBA Finals series, and in this video, we will provide everything you need to know about the teams, and, more importantly, our prediction on who is going to be the new NBA champion. So, let's start with some all-time data, just to give a wide perspective of the upcoming NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics is one of the two winningest teams in NBA history, as they are on top of the list with 17 championships won. The last time they won was back in 2008, when Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen joined forces to bring the championship back to Boston for the first time after 22 years. They made it to the finals twice after that, but lost both times. In 2010 to the Los Angeles Lakers, and in 2022 to the Golden State Warriors, and this will be the Celtics' 23rd NBA Finals appearance. The Dallas Mavericks are not even close to a background like that, but they are definitely proud of their only NBA championship in franchise history won in 2011. Current Mavs head coach Jason Kidd was the starting point guard on that championship team, led by Dirk Nowitzki. This will be the third NBA Finals for the team from Texas after losing their first one back in 2006. So when it comes to history, the Celtics have had a lot more success than the Mavs, but no team other than the Lakers would stay neck to neck with the Celtics. And at the end of the day, history will not win this series. So what we should do, before we dive deeper into the prediction, is to see the NBA Finals experience of the players on both teams. Starting with the Celtics, around half of this team was on the roster when they lost to the Warriors in the 2022 NBA Finals. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were the cornerstones of that team, but now they have 2 more seasons of experience, which makes them much better and ready to win their first NBA championship. Al Horford was the oldest player on that roster, and he is still here but now coming off the bench for the Celtics. Derek White joined the Celtics during that season, and his role on the team has grown ever since. Peyton Pritchard, Luke Kornet, and Sam Hauser were role players back then and are still coming off the bench for the Celtics. Drew Holiday is the only player on the Celtics team who has won the championship before, as he was the starting point guard on the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks team. The Dallas Mavericks also have one player with a championship ring, and it is easy to guess that is Kyrie Irving, who won the championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers back in 2016. At the same time, he is the only player on the Mavs team who has played in the NBA Finals, and besides, in 2016, Kyrie played in 3 more finals series with the Cavs, all of which were against the Warriors. Speaking of the age of the current rosters, both teams are very close, as the average age of the Celtics players going into the NBA Finals series is 26.8 years, while the Mavs are at 26.7 years. The Celtics have 8 first-round draft picks on the roster. 4 were selected in the second round, and 3 were signed as free agents. On the other side, the Mavs have 9 first-round draft picks, 3 second-round picks, and 3 players who were signed as free agents. Another interesting fact that needs to be pointed out is that Kyrie Irving and Kristaps Porzingis will be facing their former teams. Porzingis missed the majority of the playoffs for the Celtics and is expected to be back in the lineup for the NBA Finals. So let's take a look at how these two teams made it to the finals. The Boston Celtics finished the regular season with the best record in the league, with 64 wins and 18 losses. They lost a game in each of the first 2 series against the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then swept the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Mavs, on the other hand, had a much tougher road to get here. They finished the regular season 5th in the Western Conference with a 50-32 record. In the first playoff round, they defeated the Los Angeles Clippers in 6 games and did the same against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the next one. They started strong in the Western Conference Finals, winning the first 3 games against the Minnesota Timberwolves, but failed to complete a sweep at home. However, the Mavs went back to Minnie and sealed the deal in 5 games to move on to the NBA Finals. Looking at the stat sheet, the Celtics had the second best offense in the league, averaging 119.2 points per game. They were making the most three-pointers per game, 16.2, and were second in three-point percentage with 38.5. The Celtics shot 48.6% from the field, which was good for 8th place in the league. Boston is leading the league with only 11.7 turnovers and 6.4 blocks per game. Defensively, they are 5th in the league, allowing 108.1 points per game, 2nd allowing 45.5% shooting from the field, and fourth, allowing 35% shooting from behind the arc. Moving on with the Mavericks, they are seventh in the league, averaging 116.2 points per game, third with 14.3 three-pointers made per game, 11th shooting 47.9% from the field, and 13th shooting 37% from deep. Defensively, the Mavs are 20th in the NBA, allowing 113.6 points per game on 47% shooting from the field. Looking back at the head-to-head matchups, the Celtics have won 6 of the last 10 games, including all 4 games in the last 2 seasons. The last time they met was on March 1st, when the Celtics won 138-110 in Dallas. They shot over 55% from the field and almost 50% from deep, with all 5 starters scoring in double figures. In the first game of the season, the Celtics won 119-110 at home, with both Tatum and Brown going over 30 points. The Mavs were not even close to winning in those 2 games, even though Luka Doncic averaged 35 points per game in those 2. So does the Mavs stand any chance in the NBA Finals against the Celtics? Boston will have the home court advantage, where they were 37-4 in the regular season and started by winning the first 20 games. The Celtics are among the top teams in the league in almost every statistical category, while the Mavs are among the bottom 10 teams in most of the defensive ones. There is no doubt that the Celtics are the better team overall, as they play more within a system, while the Mavs heavily depend on the performance of Luka. He was the leading scorer in the NBA this season, averaging 33.9 points per game, and finished third in the MVP voting. Luka is ready for the challenge, and we have seen him grow every year since he joined the NBA in 2018. He is one of the most clutch players in the league, and every time a game is on the line, the Mavs can be confident that Luka will deliver. A lot will depend on Irving as well, who has not been very consistent this postseason. However, Kyrie is the most experienced player on both teams. He has won before, and will lack no motive against the Celtics, where he spent 2 seasons. Another motive for him will be proving to everybody that he can win the championship without LeBron James. We are sure you remember that Kyrie was the one to hit the game-winning three-pointer in 2016 for the Cavs to beat the Warriors in Game 7 on the road. But how good is the rest of the Mavs roster? PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford have proven to be great additions to the team since they came to Dallas at the trade deadline. Rookie center Derek Lively, too, did not miss a single of his 16 field goal attempts in the series against the Wolves, and is very productive for the Mavs on both ends of the floor. Derek Jones Jr. has had a major role for the Mavs and will be the one to try to guard Tatum and Brown in the NBA Finals. Looking at the bench, besides Gafford, the Mavs can count on Josh Green, Dante Exum, and Tim Hardaway Jr. to a certain point. That doesn't seem like much help off the bench, but it is actually more than the Celtics can count on. The Celtics are one of those teams that lean on their starters, and no other player than Peyton Pritchard has had a major role in the previous playoff series. Al Horford will probably be used in clutch time since he can stretch the floor and defend multiple positions, but at the end of the day, it will all come to Tatum and Brown on the offensive end. Derek White may be the key player for the Celtics, since he will be the lucky one to try and slow down Doncic. No player has managed to do that, but the Celtics may find a team defense that will make life harder for Luka. There is no doubt that it will be an interesting matchup since both teams have played a lot to get here. The Celtics missed their opportunity in the past 2 seasons, while Doncic has finally made it to the NBA Finals. He will be in the spotlight, and whether you like it or not, he is the best player in this series. Still, we have seen in the past that teams win championships. Luka's brilliance will win a couple of games for the Mavs, but the Celtics, at the end of the day, are the better team. So we go with the Celtics to win the NBA Finals series in 6 games. Thanks for watching D's Hoops. Make sure you hit like. Don't forget to subscribe, and let us know which team you think will win the championship. See you in the next one.